being rude, she says. These results suggest that we feel annoyed when others are on their devices during a meeting. Yet, we fail to realize that our actions will have the same effect on others when we are the ones engaging in them, she says. This is what Axtell sees in practice. People feel insulted when someone reaches for their phone, especially if that person is a senior leader. If you're presenting or talking about an idea and you see a senior manager on their phone, it hurts, he says. Still, there are some good reasons to use technology in a meeting, says Axtell. You may want to take notes or retrieve reference material. Perhaps they need to be available because something important is going on in their lives, he says. But if these circumstances don't apply to your participants, have everyone turn their devices off and pay attention. Keep it as short as possible, no longer than an hour. Research shows that there are advantages to keeping meetings short. One reason is that people stay more focused during shorter time spans. Classic studies have found that groups adjust both their rate of work and their style of interaction in response to deadlines and time constraints, says Gino. For example, one study showed that groups solving problems communicated at a faster rate and used more autocratic decision-making processes under high time pressure than they did when time pressure was low. Once people realize you're tight on time, they stop asking questions or talking and focus on getting the work done, says Axtell. This doesn't mean you should try to cram every meeting into a 30-minute slot. Axtell warns that there are conversations that necessitate more time, and you shouldn't rush over certain topics. If the purpose of your meeting is to talk through something, you need to give people enough time to voice their opinions, build on one another's ideas, and reach a conclusion, he says. Time pressure will make this more efficient, but you don't want to make the time so short that you truncate important conversations. Chapters 6 and 7 offer suggestions for ideal meeting length. Stand-up meetings are more productive. While some might feel that stand-up meetings are a gimmick, Gino points out that there is empirical data that proves they work. In one study, done in 1999 before stand-up meetings were a staple in most offices, Alan Bludorn from the University of Missouri and his colleagues concluded that stand-up meetings were about 34% shorter than sit-down meetings, yet they produced the same solutions. For a different take on stand-up meetings, see Chapter 29. Axtell finds these types of solutions encouraging. I like that people are trying to do something bold to change up meetings. Going for a walk, standing up, he says. But, he warns, don't let the format distract you from doing what really matters, running an effective meeting. I'd prefer people have the guts to say, I'm going to run this meeting well. Make sure everyone participates, and call on those who don't. Some people may want to speak up in your meetings, but feel like they can't unless they're asked, says Axtell. This may be due to cultural reasons, or language barriers, or general disposition. Axtell believes that people who hold back often have the best perspective on the conversation, and you need to draw them out. Having everyone contribute isn't just good for the end result of your meeting, it's good for the participants as well. People like to know that their opinions are being heard and considered, says Gino. And just by asking people in the meeting for their opinion, you're going to raise their commitment to the issues being discussed. For people you know may feel too put on the spot, talk to them ahead of time and tell them that you're hoping they'll contribute. That way they'll have time to plan what they'll say. Then in the meeting, you may still need to prompt them by asking for their perspective, but they'll be primed to do so. Never hold a meeting just to update people. If you're already meeting for worthwhile topics, it's okay to give a quick update, says Axtell. You might ask at the end if there's anything the group needs to be aware of, or if there's something going on in the department that others need to know about. But if you're only meeting to transfer information, rethink your approach.